Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on Casper. But before I get started, please click the like and subscribe button as it helps this channel grow very quickly. So we're going to talk about Casper. We're going to start with this. So the Casper network is now available to bridge to other blockchains thanks to the support from .oracle. So which blockchains can you transfer assets from Casper and vice versa? I talked about this in the last video, but this is important. So we see Casper and .oracle bridging to Ethereum, BNB Chain, Avalanche, Moonbeam, OKC. And I'm sure others will come later. All of these coins have something in common, these ISO coins, and I do believe Casper is an ISO coin, thanks to its partnership with IBM. And one thing they have in common is they bridge other cryptocurrencies. Like we see XDC bridging Bitcoin to make it ISO 222 compliant. We see Algorand bridging Bitcoin to Flare. And we see partnerships between these cryptocurrencies also. I mean, at some point, Casper could become a partner of HBAR. And I'm sure that might even happen. But we have to wait and see. So our friends at Friendly Markets have announced two important things. Friendly Market DEX is going live on Casper mainnets this week. A partnership with .oracle to bring the first cross-chain bridge on Casper network. That's bigger than people think. A lot of people are like, well, they're just bridging this and, like it's nothing. But it's actually big news. And it adds value to Casper. So why would you build your token on Casper blockchain? Now, we see here standards-based token issuance as easy to use as ERC20. Tokens can be easily created on Casper. Tokens on Casper have better security and performance. Mechanisms exist to efficiently bring dApps from Ethereum and other chains. So you can build tokens on top of Casper. That's pretty big news, using Casper. And the thing is, a lot of people still don't see Casper as a good investment. People talk really bad about Casper a lot of the time. But I can see its use case. I can see its utility. I could see where it's going in the future, and it's going to be big. I think Casper... But the tokenomics are absolutely draining. There is an 8% yearly inflation. That's 1 billion net new tokens per year. It will have a major price discovery issues. 1 billion annually is a ton of pressure. Casper needs to find a burn mechanism similar to Ethereum. That's the one thing I don't like about Casper, is the inflation. And a lot of people don't like to invest in it because of that. People get worried. When there's supply, all of a sudden people are start talking about market cap, things like that. They think it can't get above certain price points. Now, we don't look at market cap too much on this channel, at least I don't, because I believe in utility and use case. But this is kind of big. But maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe Casper's, use case in the new financial system requires an inflation. Maybe it needs that to happen. I don't know yet. No one does. So Friendly Markets will burn 100% of its shares of fees from the DEX, Casper burn. So we do see they're going to burn some Casper. That's good news. And if we continue to see that, that could be a very good thing. Now, people talk about Luna. The crash happened, they revived the token, and it all relies on burning tokens to get the price to move to the upside. Casper, on the other hand, because I do believe it's ISO compliant, and I see the use case and the utility behind Casper, I don't think it needs to burn, but the burn will help the price move upward. So Casper facts. Another unique aspect of Casper is the flexibility to have various kinds of deploys. An enterprise that would normally only use a private network will now also be able to use public network while adhering to regulation. This is one of my favorite things about Casper, honestly, We see it's like a hybrid. We have a private control participants, private IPs, private data and transactions, private chain governance, cloud agnostics, AWS partnership. But then there's a hybrid part where it's controlled participants, private IPs, private data and transactions, block hashes on public chain, private chain governance. But then there's a public area where you have permissionless public network, public data and transactions, high trust layer, but public governance. That's what's nice about Casper. It's whatever you're looking for. And I believe that gives it a lot of value. So, Base Solution Provider will now be hosting Casper nodes, bringing more stability and security to the network. And that's the thing. Security is going to be very big inside of Web3. We see now with digital IDs, people want to create digital IDs for Web3, and this way you could keep hold of everything that you want to. Say you have NFTs, they'll be assigned to your digital ID, and so on. So people are very worried about security. In my opinion, I don't think Casper is going to have problems with security at all. I think it's probably going to be one of the most secure cryptocurrencies and use cases. So Casper exchange listing status for Binance, Coinbase, and Gemini, they're not listed there yet. So think about that value when they finally do get listed. It'll push the price upward, I'm sure. And then we see this. Our ability to deliver real-time proof of ownership makes patent transactions simpler and more cost-efficient, and lays the foundation for a consortium of patent owners, patent offices, and verifiers to grant, publish, own, and transfer patents. Patents are big. Think about it. You create something and you want to put a patent on it. Where do you go? You go and get a patent done. That's very big. A lot of patents are created every single year. Every single new item you see goes through patents. So, accelerating enterprise and adoption to blockchain, highway consensus, proof of stake, layer 1, spoke at Davos, working with BSN China, Casper 2.0 coming soon, dev friendly, promoting Web3 adoption, SJM Group in UAE, DevXDAO in Switzerland, Casper Labs partnered with IBM. Now, the biggest FUD that you ever hear about Casper, well, they're not an ISO coin. Even if they weren't an ISO coin, they're tied to all the ISO coins. Casper is tied somehow, some way into the new financial system. But that's not all I look at when I look at Casper. Like I said, it has other use cases, other utility, NFTs, Metaverse, Web3, music. Those things are important. It's a well-rounded cryptocurrency. The only thing I don't like about Casper is the inflation, and it looks like they're going to start taking care of that with the burn mechanism. And a lot of people will always try to tell you this also about Casper. Well, the price isn't moving. We see all these partnerships. We see everything Casper has going on. We see everything being, built upon even in a bear market, but the price doesn't move. So it scares people away from it. Kind of like HBAR. It's the same thing. But I believe when Casper really does start moving upward, it's going to melt people's faces. They're going to be like, oh, wow, I didn't expect Casper to get to that price or that price. Those partnerships happen for a reason. I always say it. IBM has no reason to partner with anyone. They've been around for a long, long time. They're making these partnerships because they need Casper for its use case, for its utility. Just like they partner with, XLM. Again, they need it for a use case, for its utility. They need these cryptocurrencies for a reason, and I believe it's part of the new financial system. So I think Casper is definitely going to be part of that and be part of the fourth industrial revolution. Now's the time to invest when the price is low. You don't want to be investing when the price already took off. You don't want to lose any of the gains you could possibly make. And I know most of you already hold Casper. Just keep holding and be patient. Our time will come. With that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.